The Center for Public Integrity really does speak truth to power, and it uses the tools of democracy to support democracy.
The Center for Public Integrity sits in the heart of Washington's power base, surrounded by lobbyists, lawyers, and consultants. But the center's unique brand of nonpartisan journalism reaches worlds away through its online distribution. In its 16 years, the center has produced more than 400 major investigative reports, 16 books, and won 20 National Journalism Awards.
Most news organizations feed a 24-hour news cycle. The Center for Public Integrity doesn't work that way.
There is no investigative operation in the world that is as elaborate, as in-depth, and as painstaking.
Power Trips, a 2006 investigation, is a prime example of the center's reach and impact. Through exhaustive research and painstakingly compiled data, researchers and reporters deconstructed the $15 million spent on privately funded congressional travel over a 5-year period, getting down to who actually paid the bills.
Well, we knew that Power Trips was a strong investigation, but even we were surprised at the amount of attention it got and the impact it had. Lobbyist Jack Abramoff grabbed a lot of the headlines, but we learned that he was just the tip of the iceberg. The New York Times and the Washington Post did editorials based on our work. Hundreds of newspapers ran with the story, and Congress actually paid attention. They limited the outside payment for trips.
Another report, the Takings Initiatives Accountability Project, broke new ground as the center's first real-time investigation. Every day for 3 months, reporters posted stories and interviews about ballot initiatives that would have radically changed land use and environmental regulation in 5 western states.
We were putting stories up daily. They were picked up by blogs really all over the country. The impact almost always was pretty immediate, and it was clear to us that it was irritating the people we were writing about, which if you do the kind of journalism we do, can be a good thing. In the end, voters rejected them in all but one of the states where they were on the ballot, and our work clearly had something to do with that.
The center's work extends beyond U.S. borders. At a time when more media organizations have shut down their foreign bureaus, the center focuses on increasingly overlooked global issues through the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists.
This is 100 hand-picked reporters from 50 countries who bring a watchdog mentality, a watchdog procedure, investigative techniques to the coverage of everything from the hundreds of billions of dollars in U.S. military private contracts in Iraq and Afghanistan to the way U.S. funding is used in the AIDS fight in the Third World.
While traditional reporting techniques are behind every investigation, the center also creates dynamic online tools to deliver news you can use. Take the Well Connected project, where a simple 5-digit number unlocks access to a motherlode of media ownership information.
We have a project called Media Tracker that allows everyone in the United States to type in their zip code and to see who owns the media companies, who owns the telecommunications companies, who controls the internet and the modes of communication to your home. And once you find out who they are, you can find out about the influence they exercise in Washington, the lobbying they're engaged in, the political contributions they've made, and how they are trying to affect the levers of power.
The way the Center for Public Integrity works is by filing literally hundreds of Freedom of Information requests, FOIA requests. We go to bat to get information that parts of the government don't want released. We make that information available in our reporting and in our investigations so people can see what's happening inside government. That's what the center has done and has perfected, and it's the basis of all of our investigative work.
This non-advocacy approach to news translates into extraordinary media coverage. Major print, online, and broadcast outlets know and trust the center as an unimpeachable source, and the awards follow accordingly. The most recent, a special citation from the Joan Shorenstein Center on the Press, Politics, and Public Policy at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. It praised the center's body of superb investigative work in the public interest.
The center's mission has not changed a millimeter. It is to look where no one else is looking and do the most thorough but also readable reporting about what's happening for the public. And this is all about serving the public.
The Center for Public Integrity has been around for years doing the work that it's done, and it's always had a website. What we're doing now is different, though. We're making a website that's interactive with our audience. So it's using the tools of investigation and then linking it to the web in a really new model.
That's the genesis behind publiceye.org, the center's new website. Visitors will find weekly podcasts of investigative news roundups and streaming video that puts a human face on the center's reports. Public Eye also will feature subscription feeds, blogs, behind-the-scenes e-newsletter updates, and links to groups working on related policy issues. And revenue-generating media partnerships with MSNBC.com and Dan Rather Reports will put the center's investigations before millions of people.
It's become more and more important for people to know what's going on inside of government, to hold government accountable, to hold corporations accountable. That's what the center does, and our work now is simply vital for the democracy that we all live in.